At Ifeelgoods. Prior to starting Ifeelgoods about 3 years ago, I used to work at PayPal and worked on our express checkout product. So the big yellow button you see on retail sites, that was the product that I worked on. Ifeelgoods is a personalized offers platform. We enable large brands and advertisers to replace their existing coupons, rebates, discounts with a high perceived value digital rewards. So think things like digital gift cards like iTunes gift cards or Google Play rewards, or even subscriptions to the New York Times or Hulu Plus or Spotify as an example. We launched about 3 years ago actually, our company, and we signed up over 150 plus different retailers. We have over 1,000 rewards in our catalog, have launched in about 16 different countries. But what was interesting that we found is in the first 2 years, we signed up a ton of different retailers, folks like Walmart Labs as an example, and we found ourselves customizing quite a bit for different retailers. And it was a huge challenge. And we noticed that actually we didn't truly have a technology platform. So about 14 months ago, we decided that we're going to scrap all of our sales efforts. We got rid of all the sales folks in our company. We repurposed everyone to doing all product and technology, and we actually relaunched our platform. And we essentially focused on how do we make it really easy for marketers at agencies and at large marketing platforms to deploy these types of promotions and campaigns. So what I wanted to be able to showcase to you is our new platform that we enable a lot of these brands and agencies to be able to do today. So this is an example. Let's say you are a marketer, and if you could actually see something, that'd be great. Let's say you're a marketer at an agency, and you are representing Samsung as an example. What you can be able to do is instead of running a simple $10 off every time you buy a Samsung phone, you can actually be able to create a promotion using any one of our different experiences. So as an example, here's one with Facebook ads. The great thing that we're able to do is we're able to say when you actually run a Facebook ad, you know so much information about a customer, whether they're 18 to 35, live in San Francisco as an example. Yet every single advertiser still today is going and saying, hey, why don't you get $10 off? Why don't you offer them, as an example, $20 at Uber, which is one of our reward partners. So what the marketer can do is take a look at the experience. They can actually, this is the way it looks for the end user, where essentially you can see a small thing that says get a $10 iTunes card with any purchase. They integrate a pixel in the same way that you would integrate an advertising pixel on the confirmation page, and we enable the consumer to redeem right away. So if the marketer actually likes this, what they can do is take a look at our catalog, which has over 1,000 different rewards. All of these are structured so that they can be able to look at and filter by category, by location of different types of countries that we have, and understand more information there. And then once they do, they can simply specify their campaign here with different fraud filtering, etc. And then as well as understand the different types of, customize what it will look like to their brand colors. And finally, here's the snippet of integration that they need to put on their website. What we found is that by going directly to the agencies instead, and actually working with them, they can deploy these platforms and they can deploy these campaigns at a much faster and quicker rate, and ultimately see further success. Thanks. Sorry, I ran over.
Any questions?
So as an agency, so why do I need this versus what I'm doing today?
So what we found is that when we ran over 500 different promotional campaigns, we would compare ourselves against an existing coupon rebate. In terms of the ad click-through rates, we saw a 2 to 3x increase in click-through rates when we were offering a digital content or digital reward. In terms of conversion rate, we saw a 30% increase, and then at the end of the funnel, because we were giving it instantly to an end user, we saw about 60% of customers sharing the fact that they got it on their wall, and 30% coming through. So what we've done is actually with our reporting, we can actually optimize on the cost of the media that you spend on Facebook or on Google as an example, as well as the cost of the promotion that you're spending, and that overall blend is going to be better than what you currently spend on your coupons and rebates.
And how do you guys make money?
So we get a percentage of every digital reward that passes through our system. We negotiate with Apple, with Google, all of the digital gift cards that we get in our system. We get a certain percentage there. And then we charge license fees to the agencies. So we recently, actually about a month ago, signed a partnership with the Publicis Group worldwide. And so they're our agency that is using our platform to deploy promotions.
Is it their
their brand properties, or their shopper marketing? Or?
So typically right now it's a lot of their, kind of performance marketing agencies. So guys like Performix, Digitas, Razorfish.
So, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So if you're a brand and you relinquish this budget over to your agency, but ultimately you as a brand want to keep promoting more stuff in your brand, right? So how does giving a promotion to something else, even though it's digital and maybe not competitive, how does that drive incremental or cross purchase?
Yeah, it's a great point. We've obviously been focusing on this for the last 3 years. I think what you've seen is a shift where people are starting to offer complimentary rewards. So as an example, if you saw over the last Black Friday season, you saw a tremendous number of people, instead of just giving, hey, get 50% off this item, they want to give something that is a reward because it doesn't devalue the product in the way that discounts typically do. And so you'll see, for instance, people on Samsung giving things that actually work with their ecosystem. So, a month free at Spotify as an example, or you buy a Pioneer sound system and you can get 3 months on audio. So things that actually work with the product that they're giving that are more complementary. Simultaneously, performance marketers are always looking for their best ROI and bang for their buck, and they're a bit more open to being able to try a variety of things, even if it is a bit competitive.
What kind of loyalty, have you been able to sort of test loyalty, for folks who convert higher with your platform? But
yeah, it's interesting. Our view on loyalty is that, so we did a test with Coca-Cola, and we saw that when we were giving $1 reward on their loyalty platform, we saw people coming, redeeming that $1, but they were coming 16 times on average and redeeming that $1. Because what happens is if your first kind of level in a loyalty platform is like $25, and you say, hey, you need to spend another $1,000 just to even get to the first point, people are typically going to abandon. So we saw that when you give micro rewards, it actually does encourage further behavior kind of down the line.
Any
Not sure if that
comments?
answered the question, but
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
I was just are you looking at data across any of your partners? Do your contracts allow you to do that in terms of like, I'm Zappos, when I sell shoes this happens, and then when you buy something at Disney, or is everything a separate silo?
So we do it for fraud purposes. The reason why we do that is because if you're giving something instantly to a customer, that's obviously you need to understand a good amount of data about who they are. So we use signals like social signals from Facebook as an example to understand that, and then we see, did that signal user also try and redeem on our network of different retailers, and then from there we make decisions. We don't market that data, we never give that data.
Comments? Feedback? Anything they should do differently?
It's a big pivot, guys.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's an extension of his question, which is all these lead gen exercises are great, but at the end of the day, are these really loyal customers? And I didn't see that. I hate to be Simon Cowell here.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, and that's what's actually what I'm always asking next is, how do I make sure I get the right people that keep coming back over and over? How do I get the whales?
You're right. I think one of the areas there that we're trying to, a lot of that also comes over a period of time. The first campaigns is never going to really understand. And I think we're starting to kind of get to that point where we're seeing 5 months out, what are these customers doing? With Walmart, as an example, we worked with the ShoppyCat application and some of the Walmart Gift Finder stuff. And we did start to see those customers kind of having some positive effects long term. But it is something, you're right, by brand, it's not necessarily, it doesn't work on every single one. So we need to figure out what the right thing is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was my reaction. It feels like it sounds as though you've done a great job, finding an opportunity where you can drive increasing conversion, which is great, and you can probably drive a bunch of affiliate revenues for your company and make some money. I do wonder if for some brands, if you'll actually drive those loyal customers, and inevitably, my guess is that the more mainstream marketers are going to care more about that than just the initial pop and then go away.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you know that that's the issue and you're going to focus on it.
Yeah.
Anything else? We have like a minute. Any audience thoughts? Okay. else you want them to know about your company? Or you?
No, well, it was just, I guess the only thing that was interesting for us, we're a little bit probably different than some of the other companies here, just because we've been around for a little longer. But I think one of the great things that we learned early on through a lot of our testing when we didn't have any platform whatsoever, working with brands and folks like Walmart Labs as an example really helped us to understand the market need and see what people actually care about, which then all of the data that we got from many of these retailers we work with helped facilitate, here are the experience that people care about the most. It was really an input of all the data that we got from all of the different marketers. And I think that's extremely valuable. So, you always look back and say, well, why did we do that? But, we wouldn't have been able to build any of our platform unless we got that type of feedback from the market.
I have one more question. So it sounds like you've already worked with Walmart Labs, but who else here would want to get in front of, or maybe even folks that you're not in touch with now that aren't here? What's your ideal pitch? Who's the person you want to pursue?
Yeah, I think one of the areas is, I think with Westfield Labs, obviously we're starting to do some more things with kind of the offline world by being able to offer some different types of rewards there. So that's obviously interesting for us. Disney on kind of the content side, where we offer new types of rewards. So whether it's apps or or a subscription to ESPN Insider as an example, these are types of things where ESPN can monetize this really well on our platform. So those are the types of things that we're interested in.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.